After I left Cape, I had all that knowledge of what Cape had taught us, but I never followed it up. Everything I found that when I worked on the streets and worked for myself, everything was always rush, get the job done so you could get to another job to finish. It was always rush, and it was never. To be honest, I think safety sometimes was the last thing you were looking at. It was the first thing I was looking into was to get the job done, how many jobs you could get done in that day, how quick you could be finished, to get home quicker, to get in the pub even quicker. Everything was rushed. So when I did leave Cape, no, I didn't follow up with the knowledge that I was taught by Cape, which I should have, because like I say again, I probably wouldn't have ended up in here if I had stuck to the things that Cape had taught me through harnesses, risk assessments, discussions with the lads, not to rush the job. Like I say, I ended up rushing just to get away. It was early, and I ended up in here. And it doesn't look like I'll be rushing about anymore because there'll be no scaffolding again for me.
I'm just going to run through some basic pre-check use before you use your harness. Don't remember, the harness is your last resort, so make sure it's in good order before you put it on. You've got a legal duty. Just make sure it's got an ID tag. Also, the back plate will have an ID tag. What we want to be just quickly looking at is the metal parts. Just make sure there's no rust, no corrosion. This is all we're doing, just to see if it's fit for use. Then we want to be looking at the straps. What I always say, if it don't look right, it won't be right. So just gently just go through your fingers here. What you're looking for is some cuts, any paint, any markings, some chemicals that may have affected it. Don't forget, lads, you need to check it every day before use. It will only take you literally a minute. All I'm looking for here, just any distortions at all. Make sure the back plate has got no cracks. All the stitching is in good order. You'll see stitching both sides. If it's fraying, any doubt at all, just get rid of it.
Well, the day of the accident, it was a dismantle job. It was for the roofer. The lads I was working with, they were actually at the back of the house and I was at the front. And I got a ladder off the wagon. I put the ladder up and climbed. I didn't tie the ladder. I ended up climbing the ladder on my own. I should have waited till the lads came on from the back. I climbed the ladder. And it was a single handrail at the top. As I got to the top of the ladder, I went to took under the handrail, and I put my hand. I always remember I put the hand on the toe board so I could climb through. The toe board moved, and I slipped. The ladder went one way, and I landed on the back of a wagon. If I had had a harness on when I got to the top of the ladder, if I had a hooked on, I wouldn't have fell. If the ladder was tied, the ladder wouldn't have slipped. And also, if I hadn't went up on my own and I waited for the lads to come round, they could have footed the ladder. So there was a few different things where I went wrong. But like I say again, it was rush, I was rushed to get that job done, to go in there, to actually go and start another job. Because we actually needed the gear off that job to go and do another job, so we needed that down. And like I say, if I had the harness on when I climbed the ladder, even if the ladder did slip, if I still would have been hooked on, I wouldn't have went. I would have just been hanging there by the harness. But instead, I ended up falling on the back of the wagon and ended up with all these injuries.
Okay, lads, now I'm just going to show you. This is the twin tail lanyard. One we're just going to show you now. It doesn't matter if it's a twin tail lanyard or a single tail lanyard, whichever you're using. It's the same little inspections we need pre-check use. There's the hook. It must be able to use it with one hand. It must be free of dust so we can clip it on. There must be no distortion. It shouldn't be bent. You can see how thick it is there. That's the strength of all these. So you should be able to just be able to go like that. What I'm going to do then, I'm just going to check it. All I'm going is my fingers down here. I'm checking for any cuts, any distortions on it, any fraying. Just have a quick look. Literally it takes you 30 seconds, that's all we're asking you to do. There's the stitching, is it in good order? Same again on this one. We're just I'm checking here because where metal meets man-made fibre, it has a tendency to wear, so that's your main point to look at. Just remember lads, all fall arrest equipment must have a shock absorber device in it. This will activate on a fall to reduce the shock loading on your body.
And I lay there for X amount of minutes, I can't remember the time. I'm new on because the lads were on the back, but I was lucky enough, there was actually someone looking out the window who'd seen us lying on the back of the wagon, and that actually heard a thud, and that's what made them look out the window. And then next thing I know, there was a crowd of people around us on the wagon. Ambulance came, 55 minutes I was on the back of that wagon. Because of all the tubes that were sticking out the back of the wagon, the ambulance couldn't reverse up close enough to get us on me. And there was a woman holding my leg, because my leg had actually bent round in the U-shape. And my elbows had shot up into my biceps. And this elbow actually came out of my clothing, you could see it sticking out. And they were trying to straighten my leg on the wagon. And in the meantime, one was sticking needles in my leg for painkillers, which I don't think actually worked. When they did try to straighten the leg the best they could, in the end there was there was actually pedestrians who were going, like people who were walking past who actually got onto the wagon and it helped carry us into the ambulance because I was too heavy at the time, to be honest, and because someone needed to hold my leg, and there was a ambulance woman, and I was nearly 16 stone at the time. She was struggling to lift us, and like with my arms, like I say, that elbow had shot up and this bone was sticking out. I just didn't know which way to turn us and move us. I was in that much pain, you know, so in the end it took 55 minutes for me to get in that ambulance. And the next thing, I was in hospital. The next thing I remember was them trying to straighten my leg, holding us down, trying to straighten my leg, threatening us with that we need to amputate it because of the circulation had stopped, because of the leg bent round, the blood was stopped flowing, so I had 20 minutes, otherwise they were going to amputate my leg.
I'm going to show you how to simply put an harness on. I'm not going to teach you how to suck eggs, but what I'm saying, this lad's never put one on before. A little tip is, I always just get the back plate here and just give it a little shake and everything should come down. You never step into an harness where the legs are tied. So what we do is, just grab it, there's the shoulder straps, just put your arm through, there we are. What we're doing then, just fasten that, this goes in here. These legs must pass underneath, and a little tip for you is they must come this way. You can see the little tie things here, the little clips. Just bring them in here, not that way, because you won't be able to fasten them. So simply pass the leg strap through, comes in here, little clip like that. Get these tabs away, pull it in, pull them tight. Wants to be secure, needs to be tight. Here we come again. Just put it in your leg there. You have a go. Don't forget, this guy's never put an harness on in his life. Okay, what we do is key these back a little bit so you can tighten it up. Pull them nice and tight. This wants to be dead in the middle in case it falls. This is nice, not bad. What we need to do is make sure we can just get his fingers through here. A good harness, fitting harness, is when it's uncomfortable. What we need to do, if you just put your arm over, that back plate needs to be sitting here, not down here, up here. And this little tip is there, just put your hand over your back and you should be able to just touch it. So once that's in place, everything else should be right. If you need to tie this harness up, all we do, just pull it through here and let it come down here. You can, and if you want to tighten that, you just pull that. It's so simple. That is quite snug fit. How do you feel in that?
Pretty comfortable.
During the operations, they inserted metal plates in my left elbow, inserted one in my right. I've got K-wire in my wrist. I've got screws and pins in my thumb and certain parts of my wrist. I've got plates either side of my right leg, both sides, to keep my leg straight. I've got 25 screws and pins in my leg as well to keep the bone together. And like I say, I had a bone graft because they needed a bone to be put into my leg. So that was actually, that operation was more painful, I think, than that. But the next operation apparently is to suck the infection out, take a bit of muscle from my foot, attach it to my ankle, see if that sets in, and then take skin either from my thigh or from my backside and put that over, and hopefully that skin will go to my leg. So I've gone through 5 operations in total so far, and I don't know how many more that I'm going to have to go through before everything's sorted. But like I say, I cannot move my hands, so I cannot write, I cannot cook my food properly, I cannot straighten my arms, and they'll never be straightened again. Told us I'll never scaffold again. Look for a different occupation. But I've had plenty of time to think of what's gone on in the past, and if only I had give that thought before I'd stripped that job, I probably wouldn't be here now. So, like I say, take time out for the safety, and if I had wore the harness like I was taught that at Cape, I should have done that while I was working for myself. And like I say, I wouldn't have ended up being in here. So.
Okay lads, this is a twin tail lanyard. I'm going to show you the attachment to the harness. As I said before, it doesn't matter if it's a twin tail or a single, it's the same principle. Just turn around. What you can see there, nice free nut, we're just tightening it up. Tighten it right up with my fingers. Remember lads, after I've tightened that, you will have to get an adjustable spanner just to give it that last little bit, what I call the belt and braces, because they have a little tendency to come undone. So just tighten it with your fingers, get the adjustable spanner and just give it a little extra tighten. Once this lanyard's been attached securely to his harness, remember the best option of you getting your anchor points way above your head. Remember your anchor points must be secure, that it's going to take the weight of a fall. So just check that cable trays and the inch point work is not going to be sufficient. If the anchor point, you can't get the anchor point above your head, and the only worst case we've got is the ledger below at feet level, that is acceptable. It will cause you a trip hazard if you're not being focused at all times, but we'd rather have you hooked on at feet level than not hooked on at all.
The accident's cost us once well, first of all, my health, because I'll not scaffold again, and that's all I've known since I've been a 19-year-old. So financially it's going to end up costing us, well, X amount of pounds, I don't know. But my health, it costs us my health for the rest of my life, because I don't think I've been told I don't think I'll be walking properly again without being in pain. I'm not being straight in my arms again. So it's cost us my health. It's financial wise, like I say, because I've worked all my life since I was 19 scaffolding, and I'm trying to get money through disability of help of the state. I've had £118 in all them years I've worked, and I put one claim in my life, and I'm getting £118. So my family's basically been helping, and friends popping around and helping with them in which way they can, what financial way they can. So it's affected my family, because obviously what extras that they've got, they're helping me, they're giving me, by just bringing us food, luxuries of magazines, papers, clothes because I've lost 3 stone in weight. So it's affected my family in the financial way as well. Psychologically, it's affected me because I don't think I could ever go up a height again. And also it's affected the length of time that I've been in hospital, and also seeing my son's face when I was first brought in with all the injuries I had, because I'll still remember to this day that my youngest son crying. So it's affected us financially, psychologically, and most of all, my health. Because if I get better, the best that the doctors can put us right, it's like I say, it's not going to be 100%, I've been told that. Is what job do I go to? Because all I've known is scaffolds, and I don't think I can do a manual job again. So, and I wouldn't say I'm the brightest of persons to go into anything as in college work. So for financial wise and looking after my family, it's cost me a lot. It's cost us quite a lot, but it's going to cost us more in the future, you know. But like most important is trying to get back to my health as best I can, you know. But like I say, psychological wise, I wish I had just took my time and wear that harness, and maybe I wouldn't be here. Well, in fact, I would not be in here if I had took my time. Put that harness on, like Cape had taught me what to do all them years I worked for them. Waited for the lads to come and foot the ladder, tie the ladder, and I wouldn't end up in here. So it's cost us a hell of a lot, just for the sake of not taking that extra 5 minutes and waiting to put a harness on and think about what I was doing before instead of rushing about.
And finally, lads, remember the safety harnesses and lanyards are the last resort when working at heights. Don't cut corners, wear them properly, hook on, because failure to do that has resulted in people getting injured, severely injured, and even death.
Because I worked offshore for years, and I know a lot of the lads who work for Cape. Like I say, not just the scaffolders, the painters, well, just all trades. I know everyone offshore for Cape. I've met most of them, so they all know me. And I would hate to see that, because some of them are my friends. I would hate to see one of them being put through what I've been put through for just not taking that bit extra time out for safety, putting that harness on. And like also to always work as a squad, not just think for it just to rush off and just do something on your own. Because as I done, maybe if I had waited for the lads to come round, they made the say put the harness on or tie the ladder, foot it. Well, and I'd hate to see someone else not wearing a harness on for the sake of just to get that little bit extra free time to the cell, finishing the job quick. So I would advise anyone, not just scaffs like I say, anyone who's going up a height, just to wear a harness, whether it's for 30 seconds, whether it's for 30 minutes, just to have a harness on at all times.